Hello friends, how are you? You know, today we are talking about a very important topic. When I say very important topic, I don't mean from examination point of view, but from even general human life, and that is fostering creativity. How to increase, how to inculcate creativity. So, in this lecture, we will try to understand what is creativity, what are the steps of creativity, and how we can increase and enhance creativity. So, let us start. What is creativity? Supposed you are asked to name people high in creativity. I ask you to name the people, you tell me the name whose creativity was very high. Who would you be, who would be in your list? Which name will come in your mind first? When faced with this question, many people named such as famous figures as Albert Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Edison, Sigmund Freud. What do these individuals have in common? All were responsible for producing something, a theory, inventions viewed by other people as unexpected and a new. If you see the invention by the Edison, by the Vinci, Sigmund Freud, we are talking in psychology, even the famous scientist Albert Einstein, they have invented something, and that invention was different from the others. So, that is the common thing, and that is actually their creativity. Now, Lubot, I will now define it. Lubot 1994 defined creativity as the ability to produce work that is both novel means a new, within the bracket I put original, unexpected. That is original, unexpected, not original which is everybody is perceiving, that is not creativity, that is a common. Original, unexpected and appropriate, within the bracket it works, it is useful and meets task constraints. Appropriate means it must be logical. I am giving you meaning that may not be illogical. Number of mental patients you have seen, they use different words, but that is not creativity, but because that is not rational, that is not logical, that does not carry any meaning. So, he says it must be appropriate and it must be original and unexpected idea or the solution of the problem. This was the definition given by Lubot. According to Rena 1996, by creativity people perceive the world in unique ways and organize events in an unusual manner. It brings dignity and meaning to their lives. What he says, perceives the world in unique ways and organize events in an unusual manner. You will, whatever the incident has happened, you will organize it in a not usual, unusual manner, means different from the, what is unusual, which is different from the others. This creativity, will give you the name, fame, and even will enhance the knowledge. Now, if you, before giving that an example, let me read this line. Before thinking of fostering creativity, a basic question about creativity is, what factors produce it? Several contrasting answers have been proposed. Research findings indicate that such processes as retrieval of information from memory, association, synthesis, transformation and categorically reduction, mentally assigning objects to basic category may also play a role in the creativity. Each time we utter new sentences or understand a new concept, we are showing creativity. Thus, a key task in the study of creativity is that of distinguishing between everyday creativity, which is termed as mundane creativity, and exceptional creativity, the emergence of something dramatically new, such as the idea of integrative circuits which made modern computers possible. Now, let me explain. Creativity, you see, we say, which is rational, new, novel. It may come from the different angles. We have talked about what factors: synthesis, categorical reduction, memory, your associations. Now, even sometimes it may come from the insight. Insight means the situation is the same, but in some people an idea generates, and you know, when this idea generates, he gives us a new concept, that is his creativity. For example, you might have read, everybody has read, that when Newton gave law of gravity, what happened? He was sitting in the garden, am I right? He was sitting in the garden and an apple fell down. An idea inside came in his mind that why this apple, you know, came down, why did it go up? And this idea brought creativity in his mind and he gave law of the gravity. So, everybody has seen apple or the mango or anything falling on the ground, but this idea never came in anybody's minds, that why it is falling down, why it is falling down, why it is not going up, why it falling down, we throw a stone, why it falls down, why not it goes up. But this creativity came in the mind of Newton, and this was not, it came by the insight. So, number of factors, you know, are responsible to produce this creativity. Now, we have said mundane and exceptional. Mundane creativity means which is daily happens to our life, some problem come and we just solve it. Now, what is the difference? Difference between mundane and exceptional creativity. Perkins 1997 focused on this issue. Who focused? The Perkins. Everyday creativity occurs with respect to problems for which our past knowledge and experience gives us valuable clues. We know where to look the solution. We know that where there is a solution, but that is not coming to mind. Some say this way, some say that way, you know, but a creative idea come, but we know that where the solution is lying. Clear? Solution is lying. Bringing it in a novel way is your routine mundane creativity. Exceptional creativity may arise in what Perkins described Klondike spaces, in areas where, like the miners of long ago who searched for the gold in the low dip, we don't know even where to begin looking. You are in the mines, searching for the stones, looking for the coal, but you don't know where it is, in which way to go, this way, that way or that thing. When we find a solution in such situation, it is likely to do a dramatic and to require thinking that is outside the box, thinking that breaks out what is often described as mental nuts. What is breaking your mental nuts? Now, I don't know. In mundane, I know that solution is lying in this space, but I am to find the way. But in the exceptional, I don't know where there is a solution. It may be in the north side, it may be in the south, it may be east, it may be west, it may be forward, it may be backward, anywhere it may be. But I don't know. At that time, an idea comes to your mind, you think that it may be solved as, that means if you are able to bring the creativity and solving the problem, what you are doing? You are breaking your mental nuts. Clear? Once break the mental nuts, the solution will come about. This is known as the exceptional creativity. Now, what are the steps of creativity? Creative processes normally takes 5 stages. I have talked about number of stages. Number 1, preparation. Beginning immersed in a problematic situation that are interesting and arouse creativity. When the creativity will come? He says that when the situation is problematic, there are problems, no doubt about it, there are problems, and we are interested, that curiosity is creating how to solve the problem. You know, it is not that this way, it is not that way. Some say do it, I say no, it is not this way. Then it comes to your mind, no, it can be that way. That means there must be a problematic situation and you prepare for that. Second is called incubation. Ideas churn around below the threshold of the consciousness. Ideas are there, they are in your threshold. Means what is threshold? Threshold is the boundary, you know, which separates two types of behaviors, Now, ideas are there, but they are below my consciousness, they are not coming to the conscious level. So, incubation period is ideas churn around below the threshold of consciousness. Third is insight. Insight means I have told about Newton, oh, why the apple came down, the feeling of aha, it happened, oh. So, the moment when puzzle starts to fall together. Evaluation, deciding if insight is valuable and worth pursuing. Now, you have to evaluate whether it will solve my problem or not. And elaboration, translating the insight into the final work. You now translate that insight into the, you do the final work, that means you do the execution and solve the problem, that is called as the elaboration. I give you an example. I have seen a small child in a classroom, a child, I am a teacher, sometimes we give hypothetical example, but it is a actual example from the life which I have observed. In the classroom some repair work was going on and there was a deep hole in the class. A child brought a magnet and that magnet fell down in that deep hole. Now, for the children, even a small pencil is very precious. He started crying, oh, my magnet has gone down, just somehow pull it, and the students, small kids started trying by putting their hands in the hole, but they were small, their hand couldn't reach to that place. A boy was sitting looking at the problem. There is a problem, preparation. There is a problem, and solution is to bring that magnet out. He saw that a rod which we put in the window, a rod was putting on the window, and creative idea came in his mind. I am talking of a class first or second child, not you and me, everybody knows. Idea came to his mind that if I put this iron rod in the hole, the magnet will come out. So, idea came, evaluation, deciding, insight came, deciding if insight is valuable, will it be valuable, elaboration, translating insight into the final work. He took the iron rod, put in the hole, and the magnet came out. So, why other people were not able to think about that, but this creativity came in the mind of the child by what? Insight. Clear? So, when such type of the ideas came to your mind, that is called as the creativity. That is why we have two type of the thinkings. One is thinkings called convergent thinking and one is called divergent thinking. Try to understand. Convergent thinking is that which is routine thinking, common thinking, and divergent is that which is away from the unique others, which is exceptional, but logical, novel, new. It must be logical, but it is not a routine thinking, that is divergent. I say, what is the use of the brick? Brick. You say it is used to make the wall, to make the house. Everybody knows it. This is your convergent thinking. Divergent thinking says, a brick may be used as a paperweight. If paperweight is not available with me and the papers are flying, then I will put a brick and it work as a paperweight. If I am to draw a line in the boundary, I want to make students to play badminton, but I am not getting the lime, that lime is white, we put the boundary. Then I have a brick. So, with brick is a red, I can put the red line and make the boundary. Now, making brick use as a putting the lines of a ground, it is your creativity, it is divergent thinking. Clear? So, person who has creative will have the divergent. We all have convergent thinking, but those who have the divergent thinking, routine away. I have put a turban in my head. There is a turban, safa, and I have seen that a child just fell in the river, and people are crying and starting making the videos. An idea came to my mind, there is no rope. If I open my turban, I throw, I can pull the child with the turban. Edge will go to the child and he will just, if he able to pick up that, I will push the child outside. Now, using this turban as a method to rescue is my creativity. This is divergent. Turban or safa which we wear is the dress code. It is divergent thinking. It is convergent thinking, but using it in a novel way is a convergent thinking. So, steps of creativity we have talked about. Now, how to foster creativity? How to increase this creativity in the children? Creative thinking is much more than using our fantasy to produce innovative ideas. Creative thinking can become a lifestyle, a personality trait, a way of looking at the world, a way of interacting with others, and a way of living and growing. Living creativity means developing your talents, tapping your unused potential and becoming what are capable of becoming through self discovery and self discipline. Creativity is not fantasy. What is fantasy? I am sitting here. Oh, this problem may be solved, this problem may be solved. This is my fantasy, I am doing nothing. But you are to encourage, you are to try that creativity should become your lifestyle. It should become your personality trait. Whenever a problem comes, I have told you 5 steps: preparation, incubation, clear, then execution. You just think out that what can we do, how it can. That is, thinking and bringing the creativity in the child. Now, 4 of the key abilities involving, now what are the aspects which you will develop in the child? 4 of the key abilities involved in creativity are fluency, number 1, number 2 flexibility, number 3 originality, number 4 elaboration. There are 4 components of creativity. You can say characteristics, you can say components, you can say key factor. And when we are talking about thinking of fostering your creativity, we must know these 4 factors. One is, the first is fluency. Fluency is your just means elaboration. How you can elaboration? How you can do the elaborate things? I gave you a word, how many words you can make it? We go to the interviews in boards in the public service commissions, and some other time I say this is pen. How many words or sentences you can make on the pen? A person who has divergent thinking, who can think, usually it is used to write, it may be used for the drawing, but what other uses can be, clear? That is your fluency, that means the elaboration. Flexibility is the ability, number 2 flexibility. Flexibility is the ability to process information or objects in different ways giving the same stimulus. If you are rigid, you are not flexible, then you can't go beyond your thinking. You must be flexible in your thinking, unless I am very rigid, that pen is only to write. If I am rigid that pen is only to write, I just can't imagine the other uses of this pen also. So, you must be flexible. Then third is originality. Originality involves getting away from the obvious and common place from habit bound thinking. What is habit bound thinking? Habit bound means I have made a habit, do this, if I have success, it will be solved. If doesn't, I am not able to solve, it will be the failure, it will be just unsuccessful. So, creativity says not habit bound, not rigidity, but the originality. And fourth is elaboration. Elaboration is the ability to establish or to explain the idea with details. The creative person can elaborate the concept. I am a teacher, but my creativity is very poor. I am not thinking more about divergent, I have a convergent thinking. So, I have crammed up 1 or 2 examples to just explain my concept. And student says that, sir, I am not able to understand, just explain others. If I have creativity, if I have divergent thinking, then I can explain that object with different examples. Now, when I will make that with the different examples, I am elaborating the concept in the different ways. Now, this capacity or character is called elaboration. You might have seen the persons who are related to the literature, the poets, the novel writers, the people who are Gyanpith awardee, they are explaining the same, the point is same, but the person can explain from different angles. You might have seen the big painters, they have same painting, but the darkness, the lightness, the angle of the line, that gives the different meaning. Picasso, you might have seen the painting. So, that is elaboration. So, there are 4 characteristics of creativity: fluency, flexibility, originality and elaboration. Now, to promote creativity, different views have been put forth. So many points have been put forth. Number 1, divergent thinking is needed to foster creativity. I told you that the person who have divergent thinking with different examples. So, the first way is divergent thinking is needed to foster creativity, that means promote, encourage divergent thinking. Number 2, establishing purpose and intention. Unless the purpose is clear, the goal is clear, why I should think about this? I do not have any purpose. So, purpose, you must establish the purpose and intention what you are working. Building basic skills. Unless or until you have basic skills, how you can go beyond that? I just do not know swimming, I just do not know swimming, then how I can put myself in the river or in a ocean and try to save someone? I must know the basic skill, then I can find the creativity, this diving, this way, that way, if I go this way I can reach to the child. So, building basic skills. Number 4, encouraging acquisitions, you encourage acquisitions of child. 5th, building motivation, especially internal motivation. We have talked in the motivation chapter, there are external motivation, internal motivation. External means which I am getting from the outside, somebody just says sir you have done a very good job, that is external. Internal gives me the satisfaction, it brings me satisfaction. So, if I do something creative, it gives me, society rewards me, that is a later, that is external reward, but it gives me satisfaction, it gives me confidence, it brings my moral high, that is the internal motivation. So, build motivation, external is okay, no problem, do it, but especially internal motivation. Number 6, encouraging confidence and willingness to work. Encourage the person to develop confidence. Sometimes a child attempts something, and the solution is not that much okay, but we just say what have you done, rubbish. We are not bringing confidence, we are just downing the confidence. Well beta, you have done this step, very good, go to the next step, go to the next step. So, if I do, the confidence will be generated, and this confidence when confidence comes, then there is a willingness to work. If I am losing confidence, I will lose my heart and I will stop the work. So, he says encouraging confidence and willingness to work. Number 7, focusing on mastery and self competition. Develop the mastery and not competition with the other, self competition. I solved this problem in this way, now I say how I can solve this problem in the other way. This is one solution, what can be the other solution? Now, I am not competing with Mr. X, I am competing with myself. I have solved this by the way X, how I can solve this with the Y method. When this feeling of self competition comes, then divergent thinking is fostered, it is developed, and we start solving the problem. And number 8, providing opportunities for choice and discovery. You must provide opportunity for the choice and discovery before the person. If I am not permitting, I am not giving you freedom, I am not giving you autonomy to work, then how you can use the choice and you try to solve the other ways. So, you must provide opportunities and choice and discovery to the child. Number 9, developing self management. You must manage yourself, time, there must be time management. You must have time management. Unless there is time management, we are not able to do the things, because what happens, then the time starts becoming short, and then we are finding the shortcut solutions, this way, that way, that way. You might have observed in your examination, the first 3 questions we write very slowly, and when they say the invigilator says 1 hour is more, then we start writing fastly, and what happens, last question is only 1.5 page and only 2 pages. Whereas we can write the 4 pages, because my time management was not proper. So, try to develop self management, discipline, there must be discipline, there must be to understand from the other people. So, there must be developing, there must be self management, then you have more creativity. And number 10th, teaching technique and strategy for facilitating creative performance. There are techniques and the strategies which facilitate creative thinking. Torrance, there is a big name Torrance, he has brought a method to measure creativity, because we are not here coming on the creativity measurement. Guilford, Torrance, Madenick, they are the big shots who have developed techniques to measure creativity. Similarly, in India, now there are so many names, but historically 2 names came, Bakar Mehndi and Pasi. They developed tests to measure the creativity. Torrance's work 1995 suggested to enhance creativity, soft thinking, deconstruction or reconstruction, imagining, playing, exploring, dialectical thinking, learning from failure and collaboration and cooperation. He says these strategies you must, if you are not able to solve the problem, do not lose your heart, try again, try again, try again, try to develop your imagination power. When you start trying to develop your imagination power, a solution comes before you. So, then reconstruction. It is not you might have seen some small people, children playing QB game. They are doing this with that with, unless until they are able to reach the goal. So, they are reconstruction, not does not matter, I will try to reconstruct it. So, Torrance has suggested these techniques by which we can foster the creativity. So, we have talked about 10 approaches, 10 methods by which we can develop the creativity. Then there is one more approach, that is called confluence approach. Confluence approach has gained considerable acceptance. This view suggests that in order for creativity to occur, multiple components must be covered, and this was given by Amabile 1983. For example, according to Lubot, creativity requires confluence of the following 6 distinct resources. Number 1, intellectual ability. Number 2, knowledge. Number 3, confluence approach. Number 4, certain styles of thinking. Number 5, personality attributes. And number 6, intrinsic tasks focused motivation. So, if we bring these 6 techniques, confluence means we converge, they are combined, that will foster creativity. When I say intellectual ability, what do I mean? This ability to see problems in new ways, the ability to recognize which one's ideas are worth pursuing. I have told you, intellectual means thinking in a different manner. Knowledge, enough knowledge about a field to move it forward. You must have knowledge. Unless I know that the magnet can be pulled by the iron rod, I just can't attempt that. So, number 2, knowledge. Number 3, confluence approach, an approach suggesting that for creative to occur, multiple components, they must be converged. Then 4th, certain styles of thinking, a preference of thinking in novel ways and ability to see the big picture, to think globally as well as locally. Locally means what are the resources you have, global means around, clear? And 5th is personality attributes, such traits as willingness to take risks and to tolerate ambiguity. If I am not able to tolerate ambiguity, I am not able to take the risk, I will not be creative. I will say no, it has happened a routine way, does it, leave it. And number 6, intrinsic task, creative people usually love what they are doing and find intrinsic reward, I have told you just earlier, in their work. An environment that is supportive of creativity, Lubot and the other argue that only when all these conditions are present, it can have high level of creativity, then creativity emerges. So, if you are to foster creativity, you will have to use these steps in the child, in the student, and then creativity will emerge. So, this was about how we can foster creativity. Thank you very much.